Hello everyone, welcome to the Autring. The Jammu and Kashmir administration tightened its grip over the situation in the Union Territory with very little political activity allowed in 2021. But the draft proposal of the Delimitation Commission to give more seats to Jammu region briefly threatened to disturb the semblance of normalcy. Protests, which were almost a daily fixture in the political spectrum of Kashmir, have nearly disappeared from the horizon, and civil administration does not approve any requests for large assembly, while heavy deployment of police and paramilitary troops ensure that no spontaneous demonstrations break out. Political observers feel that the large-scale use of UAPA and Public Safety Act against dissenters has led to calm, which might be temporary in the long run. The administration, headed by Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha, seemed to have got the grip of the situation in the Union Territory as it successfully managed the fallout of the death of Jilani in September. Given the popularity of the separatist leader, Jilani's death was expected to bring his followers out onto the streets. It might have very well happened, but the authorities sealed off some roads for a few days and snapped internet services for about a week to ensure it did not happen. With armies of India and Pakistan agreeing to a ceasefire along the line of control in February, the guns along the border areas fell silent. As security forces eliminated most of the top leadership of the militants in Kashmir, many would have believed that the situation was almost peaceful in Jammu and Kashmir. However, things took a dramatic turn in October as the ultras started targeting unarmed civilians, including those belonging to minorities. Nearly a dozen persons were killed by the militants, and security forces upped their operations, but in the process, questions were raised on the genuineness of the encounters. One such encounter that took place at Haidarpura in November drew national and international attention after it came to light that at least two of the three locals killed in the operation were not linked to militancy. For the first time since the abrogation of Article 370, the police were forced to return the bodies of slain men they had dubbed as overground workers or terrorists. In the wake of COVID outbreak, the police started burying the bodies of militants in remote areas of North Kashmir, with only close relatives of the deceased allowed to take part in the final rites. Union Home Minister Amit Shah finally visited Jammu and Kashmir more than 2 years after the repeal of Article 370 that gave special status to Jammu and Kashmir and reorganizing of the erstwhile state into two union territories. Shah's visit came in the backdrop of rising civilian killings by militants who hit back at soft targets after suffering major setbacks at the hands of security forces earlier in the year. The Home Minister's visit was high on symbolism as he addressed several constituencies during his extended 4-day visit to the Union Territory. His visit to the residence of a slain Muslim police officer, followed by a meeting with the families of those cops, political workers, and ordinary civilians who fell to the bullets of the militants during a year, was a clear message to the nationalist forces that the government will not let them down even after they are gone. Shah sought to boost the morale of paramilitary forces as he spent one night each in a BSF camp and a CRPF camp. He also paid tribute to 40 CRPF Jawans who were killed in the suicide bomb attack at Lethpora in Pulwama district in 2019. While Shah's visit was aimed at reviewing the security situation and plugging the loopholes, the political class back home feel the graph of the security situation was going downwards. After over 2 years of crumbs, the political activity seemed to pick up towards the last quarter of the year, with mainstream political parties like the National Conference, People's Conference, and new entrant Apni Party holding rallies and workers' conventions across the Union Territory. While PDP also did get the same in the Jammu region, it failed to get permission from authorities most of the time when it tried to hold similar events in the valley. The politicians believe that the easing of curbs on political activity was due to the government's realization that it cannot hold down dissent force for too long. Thank you all so much for watching, and for further updates, please stay tuned to the Autring.